Hey everyone, Jackson from Royal Botanical Gardens here at the Arboretum about to take a hike. One of my favorite things to do, and likely one of yours too. Have you been hiking recently? And if you have, great. And if you haven't, well, this might be a reminder as to some things to think about and some things you need to do before you hit the trails. Before you even leave your house, there are things to consider. For example, what's the temperature like outside? That might determine what you wear on your body. In areas that there might be some long grass, you might need to wear some long pants and socks tucked into those pants to ensure you are keeping things like ticks away from your body. You also want to think about what you have on your feet. A lot of our properties feature ravines leading down to vast wetlands, such as Coots Paradise or Hendry Valley. Sturdy shoes will help keep you safe on the hills, as well as around roots, rocks, or uneven terrain. A great idea would be to pack some water and some snacks, things that can easily fit into a backpack. And maybe if you are a hobby birder or you like looking at plants, you can bring some binoculars or some field guides or heck, even a book, something to draw in that you can write some notes in, any of those things that you would like to do while you are on a hike, put those also in your backpack. Perhaps even a first aid kit if you are with children or if you're going to be out for a long time. Maybe even a garbage bag should you encounter some litter while you're on the trails. If you're going hiking with friends or family, ensure that you make a plan ahead of time about where you're going to go, where you're going to park, and what you're going to do so that everyone has an understanding about what the hike will entail. I know this all may sound like a lot of things, but the more you're prepared, the better off you will be. Because you'll be outside in nature, you don't have to bring a mask, but of course you can, whatever makes you more comfortable. Another important thing to do is make sure that you've charged your phone, should you have one, and let someone know ahead of time where you're going. Once your backpack is loaded with all of your things, it's time to head out to the hiking location. At all of our trailheads, you're going to encounter a map, which is important so that you can figure out where you are and where you're going. But these boards also have some interpretive information. We know where we're going, we've got our backpack, it's time to hike. Believe it or not, keeping places like Royal Botanical Gardens safe comes down to all of us. Anytime you engage with a hiking trail anywhere, it is your responsibility to ensure that not only are you and your friends and family kept safe, but also all of the nature around you. Our footprints alone can cause a major problem should we wander off trail. Not only could we be carrying invasive species on our shoes through seeds, but just the physical impact of our heavy feet can trample lots of sensitive plant and wildlife species. It's important to know that we are sharing this planet with billions of living things. Even around here, you could encounter snakes, turtles, frogs, toads, salamanders, mice, moles, voles, weasels, muskrats, beavers, deer, coyote, opossum, eagles, owls, hummingbirds. Heck, the most important living things of all are plants. So wherever you are in nature, it is up to you to keep what you see completely safe. And even take a second to say thanks. While these trails are recreational, we do ask that if you bring your dog, you keep it on a leash. And if you are cycling here, we ask that you lock it up at the bike racks at our entrances to our parking lots. And please, if you bring any garbage into our properties, please pack them out with you and dispose of them at a receptacle or at home. Sure is starting to get hot out here. Might be a good time to just take a quick hydration break and just spend a few minutes among the trees. While I'm standing here among the trees, I notice that I'm standing next to something that tells me that I am in a Carolinian forest. That's right, you and I live amongst a Carolinian forest, and I know this because the types of trees that are growing here in the wild are ones that are only found in this vegetative zone, and that tree here that I'm around is a sassafras tree. Sassafras, sycamore, tulip trees, these are all signs that you're standing in the Carolinian forest. How cool is that? staying on the marked trails is more important than you might believe. And when you're on the trail, stick to one side, or if no one's around, walk in the middle, because there are some hazards we need to be aware of. While this might just look like a sea of green, one of these plants is a little bit more dangerous than the rest. For here we have poison ivy. And I know I'm looking at poison ivy because there are two leaves really close together and a long stem leading to the top leaf. If you feel you've come in contact with poison ivy, you can simply wash your skin with cold soapy water and it should wash the oils right off. While poison ivy may not bother you for a few days after you come in contact with it, stinging nettle is something that would bother you immediately. As you're concluding your hike and you're getting back to some familiar territory, maybe you're reflecting on all the cool things you saw. Maybe you're thinking about the pictures you're gonna submit to iNaturalist or your checklist to eBird. A couple last things to do before you head out. One thing is to conduct a tick check. I mean, first one here and then one from the privacy of your own home. Once you've done your tick check, the last thing to do would just be to scrape your shoes off. You want to make sure that any mud or any seeds will remain here. What a hike, eh, fellas? I know I sure had fun. I can't wait to go again. And sometimes hiking's as easy as just packing up and going, but it's also good to be prepared. Think ahead, plan ahead, and that can make for just that much more of an enjoyable time while being outside in nature. And we can use this as an example of just how to be a good Earth human. Because this is an amazing planet, and really, it's the only one we've got, so we gotta take care of it. So for Royal Botanical Gardens and Jackson Hideki, stay inquisitive, see you on the trails.